Welcome to this absolute beginner's cha-cha dance lesson. Learning tips, including health and safety advice, are in the description. This dance lesson is designed to be done after the rumba complete beginner's dance lesson. Reason is, in cha-cha we do 5 steps to every bar, but in rumba we were only doing 3 steps. So that's more to do in the same amount of time in the music, which is generally harder. Let's dance cha-cha-cha on the piece of paper. Join in or watch. I'm going to start on the left now. I'm trying to exaggerate my steps so they're nice and clear. I've stopped, I'm going to start again. And the music's changed a bit, so I might come in at a different time to you. Back on the left now. I'll just start dancing, just watch, join in if you like. I'm going to go back on the left. The aim is to join in eventually back on the left. If you get lost, definitely stop and start again. I'm going to start exaggerating my footwork. Remember to stop and start again if you get at all lost. So if you're joining back in, you go back on the left there. If you're joining back in, go back on the left. Okay, I'll stop exaggerating so much now. Notice we're going back on the left, back on the right. Back on the left, back on the right, back on the left, back on the right. So it keeps changing from one side to the other. Ta-da! Here's a great exercise for cha-cha. Start with that basic, join in or watch, back on the left now. Now watch what I do. I am slowly going to make the back step smaller until I end up dancing on the spot. And then we can slowly make the back step appear again, which I always find quite tricky. So it gets bigger and bigger until we're doing full back basic again. Now I'm going to stop and start again. So I'm going to start with the left. Let's start back on the left now. So as usual, back on the left, back on the right, always alternating. Slowly, let's make the back step smaller. Always getting smaller and smaller. I'm still stepping with the left and then with the right. Just looks a bit different now. Now I'm going to start extending the back step again. Back step getting extended. There we go. This gives us variety in our dancing because we're starting to learn to vary how it looks. So we could go smaller again. So you could be doing this in your own time now, or you might stick with me. Smaller and I'm making smaller and smaller steps. So I'm now dancing on the spot. I'm going to slowly bring in the back step again. We're going to dance side by side just to make it clearer exactly what's going on. Now let's dance back basic together in cha-cha. Let's start dancing now. Cha-cha is fast, so let's slow down to look at one particular element. As you see, the leader and the follower step backwards. Notice it's still on the same side and it still looks like a mirror as it did with rumba. Let's spend a moment thinking about the steps. We might be saying this: back and cha-cha-cha, back and cha-cha-cha. Or we could make lots of observations. One of them would be that we're doing the cha-cha-cha on the piece of paper. So watch this. Back, and then it's and cha-cha-cha. So the cha-cha-cha is on the piece of paper, and only when we get to the next bar do we then go back on the next foot. Back and cha-cha-cha. So again, notice that was on a piece of paper, and only when we get to the next bar we're then ready to go back off the piece of paper again. Different way of thinking about it is that the first beat of every bar, the first step of each set is off, and all of the rest of the steps are on the piece of paper. Let's do back basic over and over again so it feels more and more comfortable, and so that we can more do it without thinking. Because we want to learn other cool stuff, so we need this to feel easy, so we then got space in our brains for the next. Backwards. Leader back on the left, follow back on the right, leader back on the right, follow back on the left. Yes, I did miss out the cha-cha-cha at the start. Let's talk about the leader steps. Leader back on the left, leader back on the right, leader back on the left, leader back on the right. Now let's talk about the follower steps. Follower back on the right, follower back on the left, follower back on the right, follower back on the left. Notice we're going back on the same side, back on the same side. Another little thought, we're letting go on the side where we're opening out. You don't have to do that, but watch what happens if we don't. Kind of gets a bit cramped. But maybe that's the feeling that you want. And maybe you need the hands to lead another move or something, but for the moment, do whatever you like, it's all good. Might even do it with no hands, let's do it with no hands. So, going on, cha-cha in the middle, it's all good cha-cha. I'm going to exaggerate my footwork for a bit. Just a little reminder of the cha-cha that's happening in the middle. That's enough of that. Cha-cha, back basic. Let's get going. Left, follow a right. Let's start dancing now. Back and cha-cha-cha. Leader's steps, back on the left, back on the right, back on the left, back on the right. Follower's steps, back on the right, back on the left, back on the right, back on the left. Anybody else notice the music went a bit weird? So we've maintained the timing, but it just means we're in a slightly different place in the music. I always think the trick here is to have the confidence keep going. So you could have some debate about whether we should have phased out with the timing. Notice we're going back on the same side, back on the same side, back on the same side. Ta-da! Let's do cha-cha and we'll do the stop-start exercise. Which means every time I say stop, we have to freeze and then we carry on exactly where we left off all together again. Leader left, follower right, let's do basic now. Back and cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha, stop! Leader's about to step with the left, follower's about to step with the right, because that's where we froze. Let's carry on now. Cha-cha, stop! Leader's about to step with the right, follower's about to step with the left. Let's carry on now. Cha-cha, stop! The leader's about to step with the right, follower's about to step with the left. Go! Cha-cha, stop! The leader's about to step with the left, follower's about to step with the right. Let's carry on now. Cha-cha, stop! Leader left, follower right. Let's carry on now. And stop! Leader left, follower right. Let's start now. Stop! Leader right, follower left. Let's go now. Stop! Leader left, follower right. Let's start dancing now. Stop! Leader right, follower left. Let's go now. Cha-cha, stop! We'll stop there. The leader was about to step with the left and the follower with the right. Brilliant. Thank you. Leader on the left, follower on the right. Let's start now. Cha-cha-cha. Back on one side, cha-cha-cha. Back on the other side. Thanks for watching. This is one of a series of nearly 50 lessons that create a complete partner dance learning experience. The video description and my website have lots more information to help.